Looks like we are about to go live here. France versus Germany, ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup. Coverage brought to you by Manco Store. Thanks so much for their support. Go check them out after this game has concluded. Our first mid-fight getting underway. CeeJaey, what do you see right away?
I'm seeing lots of aggression coming in here from the French. They're getting so far forward onto their opponent's side. They've lost their demo man and their medic. So I think Germany are going to win this mid-fight in the long run, but that was such an aggressive mid-fight. KritzKast just getting really aggressive and walking up there, got a lot of damage down, but just didn't have the support from anyone else. Psycho's stabbing the air there, trying to get a kill, but in the end, I think Germany are going to win that quite comfortably.
Well, and actually, in fact, not only are they winning it quite comfortably, but France throwing so many bodies forward afterwards. It's a complete wipe. And in fact, it seems like Germany a little bit slow to get that capture and to get forward on second. I still think that they'll have plenty of time to do so, though, as the French players melting away after that. Not getting any success in the kind of the post-fight wraparound plays, unfortunately.
No, and actually Menti getting a 3 kill, and Zamperoni with the 4. So 7 of the 9 players from the French team killed by that combo there. We were talking about the experience on those players who. Those two have played many different classes. The Uber comes in now. Dreamy is going to be the one leading it, and Madje is dodging, and he survives eXtine, actually going to get back into the spawn.
Yeah, great survival skills from the medic. Able to get back now, has 95%. It's not going to matter, though, because players surging forward. It's the Soldier plus the Pyro. One more on there. That was the Devilman as well. So just a surge forward onto the point. You know you got to capture it quick and Highlander. A pause was requested, but since we're seeing that request, looks like it was denied, and player able to reconnect fast enough. So Rez not really having any problems here. Maybe just a second behind on the rollout. We'll see if they can do better here, though.
Yeah, France, again, slightly slower, but deciding not to go up their opponent's side this time. Playing a little bit more slow, thinking maybe let's just slow this game down a little bit, because another mid-fight like the previous one would have been quite detrimental. But the first casualty is Duo taking down Miju. And really nothing going on here at eXtine. This is such a passive mid from both sides. They're just waiting for a pick to come from maybe a Spy or a Sniper.
Yeah, Psycho comes around, but no success for him. On the other side, Mezzo does get a swipe down to kill T. Bordeaux on the Pyro for Team France.
It looks like Germany are going to win the mid fight just by virtue of walking forward, and they've used the Uber. Oh, KritzKast gets taken down. Mezzo with the revolver, and this counter Uber from France doesn't really have any chasing power. Olga's going to stop Germany from pushing any further, I think, but they can't really do much there, and Olga's just getting battered away as Menti's just walking forward.
Sinks there. KritzKast going down. Real unfortunate. Their flanks have also been sort of disconnected. Duo's back there again. Psycho lurking. So hopefully they can kind of sync something up here as Germany just kind of planted up on this choke point.
Yeah, we might be getting into a bit of a stalemate here, which is where we're going to see the likes of Neo, Psycho, Denkra, Mezzo, they come into play, because they're the ones who need to get a pick to really open the doors here. And at the moment, Germany in control of the midpoint, probably not feeling any incentive to push. They can just wait until they get that priority pick, maybe a medic or a demo even, to get some more space. Whereas at the moment, France are the ones who are going to have to really push the issue, because as you can see, KritzKast, they're going to go Uber in through choke already, and they're going to try to take an exchange here. Psycho doesn't manage to get it backstab, and they haven't forced Tomato yet. He's not actually got the Uber charge. He pops it as soon as he gets it. That was very lucky that he wasn't pressured earlier on there, and they're going to try and counter this and push into second.
Yeah, one of those situations where it's hard to realize, oh no, they lose their medic. France, Matt kind of getting a little too close to that corner. Stickies were coming around. I was going to say they were in that position where they were building really fast because they were just on the defense. They didn't kind of realize it. They did get aggressive with that Uber charge, but not as aggressive onto Domato as they needed to be. So unable to get the kill. Uber charge flip comes through in the favor of Germany. They've been a little bit slow to respond to this frag that they got on Matt, though, to get around the choke and start pushing in the second here.
That's the thing with Highlander, though. Like, you know, once you've got a medic pick, you may be able to push in, but until you've got that Uber, it's not always a guarantee because there's so many classes. But there we go, Meza with the pick onto Neo. No sniper gives so much more room for Germany, and you can see they're rotating towards big door now. Kalis is going to spot that and back out into lobby, and all they can really do is back out onto last and try to get some sort of a turtle hold and, you know, get a level 3 up, try and build some sort of Uber. And Germany are already trying to push their way in through the main area.
Yeah, very controlled push by them into second, but they see that there's a bit of an advantage now. They get forward, and actually, just as we were talking about control, seems like the control slips away from them a little bit, losing their scout and the demo man, pretty much the two main people you'd like to Uber charge into last. And
look how where Zamperoni is right now. Zamperoni's starting to walk into water.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Their heavies in position, their soldiers in position. It'd be really great to be able to push through Shutter right now with an Uber charge on either one of those two players that have gone down. Those players are back, maybe not on the scene, but we'll see the push come in shortly, I think.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange kind of situation. Germany looked like they wanted to push all the way into last, and they had the advantage. You know, it was still at least 60%, but now, you know, France have managed to get 100%. They are getting some picks, but those respawns are going to be better for France. And kind of an odd decision by Germany to slow the game down, but maybe they don't want to take any risks. They don't want to push in and risk failing and get pushed out on. And this is such a hard map to push out from in Highlander because you can cover all the angles, and if you make a mistake pushing out, it's very easy for the team outside of the doors to just push back in and get a free, easy cap.
Yeah, the capture can go really quick, so even just being able to get the capture time like halfway filled up by an easy push, if you can follow that up later, that makes a big difference. Right now, some trades going out. It's just Karnax, the scout for our defensive team here. France going down. Psycho goes down as well. The Uber charge has come out though. Menti charging forward through main. And players behind the point as well. Pyro coming down from France to try to play defense here. Bourdon going to be able to take care of that heavy weapons guy. Other players dropping down from France though, so the defense is tight here. Saga playing really difficult. Menti behind the point, he gets on it. Sticky's coming in defensively, but it's not enough. They get the capture.
Really difficult for France there. I mean, T-Borden was doing a lot of work denying that point, but it's so hard when you've lost 3 players already. The Uber comes in from Germany, and instead of focusing the enemy medic, that's something that a lot of teams want to do. They want to get the other medic, they want to get the force. They didn't. They took down Neo and they took down Olga, who weren't involved anywhere close to the medic, and you get another 2 picks. Those 3 picks turn into 5, and the enemy team's got 4 players. Doesn't matter if they have a better Uber, they're not going to win that 4 versus 9. We're on another mid-fight eXtine. Germany looking very in control at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They're just focusing their damage and their presence on mid, while France kind of seemingly showing up but being very scatter-minded. Different players in different positions. Dewo coming up from underneath is barely going to be in. Oh, no, he does burn down. Trying to get to that health pack all the way back in River. That's one less player fighting on the point, and France has backed up here, trying to recuperate from their wounds on second point.
Germany just looks so much better on these midpoints. They just seem to be, you know, it's not necessarily the early kills as the Ubers are exchanged in choke, and Germany, you gotta worry for them, France, you gotta worry for them here. And actually, no, Rez goes down, and France may be able to re-push in here and retake control of the midpoint. And they're getting so many kills, eXtine. That's really successful re-push, and they're gonna cap the midpoint for the first time in this game.
They certainly need to get some confidence brewing here, and some, teamwork cohesion. As you mentioned, the kind of mid-fight was kind of a struggle. Came together a little bit. Oh, Zamperoni gets caught out. This is going to be in their favor. He was trying to make a cheeky play out of the shutter. Rez is still back there. We'll see if he runs out now or later to try to get a flank play. Yeah, looks like he's going to wait, but that might not come in time here. The push is getting ready. 80%. Rez will go for the flank play here. Does get out on Duo, gets taken out in 12 seconds till he respawns. Uber charge has been used as they come across. They get over here. They got to get the kill on Domato here. He's hiding in secret. 97% taken out though, sniped by Neo. What a huge play by him.
Yeah, that's a huge body shot there, but Denker is getting a couple of kills, takes down Neo and Duo, and I think this may be looking better for the Germans. Psycho is going to uncloak on last, but isn't really going to get anything done. That was a really good Uber. It seems that France are building these Ubers better than Germany, because that's not the first time that we've seen them use in and had about a 10% advantage over D'Amato on a seemingly equal Ubers scenario. And both meds did die there, so it is kind of just cancelling out. And France have got a teleporter in lobby, so they're going to be pretty happy to just kind of hold in lobby. Well, not if they start losing players like this. But yeah, I think Germany want to push out now, as Menti's going to try and get some damage on that teleporter. Eventually it takes it down.
Yeah, he was hoping somebody was going to come through right before he destroyed it. The push from Germany is feeling encouraged. They have a spy behind who might be able to get into this medic, but no, caught up by the pyro and shut down. That's still enough of a distraction, though, to allow some stickies to get on this shutter. Players capturing second. France quite can't directly contest that point. Zamperoni behind the second point, eating a sandwich. I don't think they know he's back there. He's going to be able to ambush the point once the capture gets going underway here. Matt J is there as well. He comes out, is going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the medic, forces the Ubercharge to come out here. That's unfortunate for France. They're still going to try to get into this last point here, putting stickies under the sentry gun, but it's getting wrangled and healed. Will stay up as Kalis goes down. That might put an end to this push stream here. Duo standing on the point. We get some time on it, but he can't get that done by himself. We'll get cleaned up.
Yeah, that was all Saga there. Really well played by Saga, wrangling a level 2 and just denying, sort of even physically pushing them back. And just France couldn't get in. They couldn't take the space. And if that sentry hadn't been there, if Saga hadn't been wrangling, then France would have been swarming the point, and it would have probably been a cap towards them. But you can see at the moment, it just feels like France are having to fight tooth and nail for every little bit of ground, every single fight, whereas Germany, they just seem to be able to just be playing at a normal level and always seem to be kind of a bit more in control. And at the moment, 2-0 up with about 18 minutes to go, it definitely is looking like France are going to have to really force this issue. Equal Ubers, they're expecting some big plays out of Neo again, because if he can get something on D'Amato, then that's definitely going to trigger a push.
Yeah, it's one of those things, the earlier that they can get this round wrapped up, more time that they will have for the next one that they have to win. It's a one step at a time process. Dreamy going down there. That's at least some sort of entry, but still just kind of waiting, very cautious. Also waiting for some of their own players. Olga is behind the point, hasn't been dislodged, waiting for Karnax. The two of them could get some work done in here if it's done in coordination with the rest of their team, but no, instead I think Olga's going to go down. Karnax is going to get cut off on Riverside. Nice rocket from Miju with the prediction.
Yeah, it just seems like, Matt J really weak. Oh no, he drops!
No.
He drops to it's just a pipe there. He was so close to dying in that pipe. Oh, that's heartbreaking. And France definitely going to get pushed out on here. I don't think there's any chance of a back cap with Zamperoni on the point revved up.
Yeah. The unexpected flank from Germany and just destroying the prepared French defenses there, as they weren't ready for that pressure from lobby. France kind of crumples under that pressure. We'll see if they can recover, push back the surging Germans.
Yeah, it's it's not looking too bad for France. It's not looking too bad. They drop the Uber, they completely fail in lobby and lose the second point, but it's only about a 10% disadvantage on Majay right now. Majay spawned, D'Amato used his Uber as Germany were pushing out. So you could say in this scenario, if Germany pushed now, it could be pretty bad for them, because as long as France play around Majay and protect him, it shouldn't be too bad. And it does look like Germany want to do something. Menti's walking forward here, and I'm not sure if they're going to realize that Majay's going to be so close, he uses it, and he's going to keep a majority of his players alive, and I think that may have caught Germany on the hop. They back out onto second and just think, okay, let's. Oh, actually, no. Menti looks like he wants to. Menti wants to walk through eXtine, but he's going to get a face full of sentry.
Yeah, Menti going down. That might change the shape of this post-Uber fight. Zamperoni going down as well. They still kind of got to get through this choke. Of course, without Menti there, it would be a little bit easier. So they're able to kind of start peeking around the corner, take out the dispenser. There is a spy hiding on Rock. Mezzo coming down, gets a double stab. Olga and Neo. That sniper is a very serious offensive pressure if you can just stare down at Shutter and take shots. Right now, Matt J feeling very freaked out very freaked out about the spy possibly behind him. In fact, Mezzo over on the big door side. Capture is going to go down. And Mezzo could decloak here for another run at it. Matt J. Oh no, actually saved by Karnax.
Yeah, Karnax just kind of running back, saw the spy, thinks, nope, I'm not going to let you get another one of my team. I mean, that could have been so much more worse if it wasn't for like the Mezzo gets those 2 stabs down, some really crucial classes. But we've kind of, if we rewind like 3 minutes, we're back in the same situation we were before. It's still 2-0 to Germany, but still equal Ubers, and France are in control of lobby, but, you know, they're not really waiting for it all. That headshot is crucial because France are going to push now.
Psycho does get a backstab on Denkra, but they've been losing players. Yeah, and exactly it. They lost Olga and Asus X at the same time. So they just can't do it. I think it's one of those things of they really just, if they just Ubered that Pyro, took them around that corner, they could have started their offensive push-off, right? But just too much hesitation. And now Mezzo coming in, doesn't get anything shut down. Bordon actually in a good position to fight. Somehow Domato thrown upwards by a Sticky. He's going to end up on Riverside. That's pretty helpful. They're going to Uber around the corner. Uber charge in response from France. And actually Rez going to charge forward. Gets the kill on Neo there. They will wrap him up otherwise. Frag's going down though as Olga also goes down. Psycho trying to fight in lobby. And now it's Domato going down to Karnax. He follows up very nicely, getting the kill on the German medic.
I think France want to push here. They're like
and I think
in main right now.
Oh,
I mean, they could just wait. Actually, no. Domato died. Matt J has an Uber advantage now. You know, so far, I don't think France have had a proper. Well, they've had one chance of pushing in with an advantage, I think. Or maybe, no, even that one was an equal Uber situation. So at the moment, they do have an advantage, and they really seem to be favoring this Riverside X. And I think what they want to do is they want to get their players into water with the Uber and do the Pyro Uber on the point. You know, the Pyro just air blasts everyone away, and people behind just cap, and it's kind of like you have this Ubered wall while people are capping. I think that's what France want to do, and they have the charge now, and yeah, they're running into water. Kalis, no, they're going to Uber in through river, and there's going to be people coming in from behind.
Yeah, the people coming in from river though, finally just now getting the penetration, getting the kill on Zapparoni. The Stickies from Menti though get the Pyro though, Psycho taken out as well. So that's a push completely flopped. 7 players respawning in 8 seconds. Olga also goes down. Just Asu X, who actually got taken out before the push, keeps getting stabbed down. So France going to lose the second point. Probably lose. Well, they're going to certainly be in danger of losing middle, and an Uber charge is available. So could be reckless to try to defend it.
Yeah, that was a wipe actually. France pushed in with an Uber advantage onto last, and they wipe. The only person they killed was Zamperoni. And they're going to Uber here, Germany, right onto Big Door. T-Border, an amazing air blast, just denying it, and Ali survives. He gets away with a buff.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to point out. Crazy play from him, because that Uber charge, you know, seemed like one of those situations like, well, the medic's not there, but if you can get some frags, you can kind of roll it further, then just keep that pressure on. Instead, the Uber charge completely stuffed. Now Menti in some trouble. He is going to get a frag on Neo. Kalis goes down as well, does Olga. So again, France kind of sloppily losing their fighting force. It's the soldier getting pressure on Matt. Does get the kill. Miju, before he goes down, slays the medic. And Germany have lost some players here, but they're picking up frags all over the place. Rez also with a reflect kill on Duo.
That was pretty good, and I didn't even realize Germany didn't capture the midpoint off of the back of that sort of push in there. And slowly but surely they've been losing players, so France are going to recap second, and Domato has, I want to say 20% ad here, but, you know, France are building really well. I don't know whether it's kind of just the way that they're playing, and T-Borden's reflex not working out that time. Miju takes him down, and the dispense, as we know, is the crucial pick. But I don't know, I think France need to think about something, need to reevaluate their last pushes, because Psycho gets about 60% camp time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And these full Uber pushes, eXtine, you'd think it would have worked, but it just seems so scattered. They had no focus, and they need to work that out if they're going to get a round on the board here.
Yeah, that last time they attempted it, it was basically one Uber player going up the gut. Maybe he had somebody with them. 3 players going underneath. But they got stuffed. There wasn't enough immediate pressure on the point from that Uber charge. And so the players coming from underneath couldn't get any capture. I think like you suggested, probably pushing the Uber from underneath and trying to get that Pyro more through. which is kind of a half-baked idea. Right now their spy might be able to get a sap out here. Does get it down. The soldier trying to help out as well, so they do get the gun down with just trading the spy out. So that's a pretty good start to things. Kill the second attempt to rebuild the gun, so engineer just a little bit short on metal, has to pick it up from his dispenser.
Yeah, I mean that sentry kill is really good, but they lose Psycho for it. That's an acceptable kind of trade, but losing Neo as well just means that they're not going to be able to get any sort of angles, get him into any sort of areas that he would be before because of the sentries down. Now Saga's building a very aggressive sentry here, and I'm just going to say it again, Germany feel extremely comfortable right now, and France, it just seems like they're having to work extra hard in order to get something done. And I feel like this is what happens sometimes in Gully Wash. If a team races into a lead, Germany got 2 rounds fairly quickly, they're just sitting back, and every single failed push is extra time that France can't afford. But they have managed to get Olga and T. Borden onto the point now.
Yeah, this is better. They haven't pushed the Ubercharge in yet, and actually what happened, Matt got dropped by Miju. So catastrophic. They got the players in a position. Right now, Karnek's trying to lurk, trying to find something by hiding in secret, but the spy's going to find him out. So they've cleared out last. They know that nobody's back there behind him. Huge frags. Oh, Miju causing problems.
Absolutely huge. I mean, I understand the kind of the play that France wanted to go there. They wanted to get some... Oh, Neo! With the headshot onto Tomato! I was going to talk about how Tomato used Uber on last, so it's pretty much equal Ubers anyway, but that's going to be an advantage for France now. 40% in the bank already, and they're already fighting in lobby.
Yeah, they're getting really aggressive. Matt picks up the health pack there. They lost T. Borden though. With Duo just respawning now, and the second point being captured, they can't continue the push into last right now.
They can capture second though, and this is what I was talking about, eXtine. They need to think of what they're going to do now. They have this advantage. Are they going to try and do the same push as they did before? They're going to try and do something different. Olga is going into River once again, but you know, time's ticking, 95%. They need to be clinical with this.
Yeah, and they just dropped Kalis for free. Oh no, and they popped the Uber charge somehow. Oh, just disastrous. As Mezzo gets a backstab somewhere on the soldier, the heavy weapons guy got dropped, the Devil Man got dropped, and the Uber fizzles, and the counter push comes out.
It's that sentry. Saga sentry is watching an angle that I guess people aren't really used to. You're not expecting it to be there. Dropping your demo and your heavy, and then having an Uber used. That's awful, as Neo does take down Dream. He's just going to slow that cap a little bit. It's going to cost him his life though. Uber advantage for Germany. Question is, do they want to push here, or do they just want to chill for a bit and just, you know, wait for France? No, they're pushing in next time. They want to take this straight into France.
Menti throwing down the drop down, so he's kind of disconnected. Going to get caught out by Duo. Easy frag there for him. So the offensive push from Germany kind of fizzles out. All their best laid plans doesn't really matter.
France are holding this though. They kept CeeJaey alive. Olga's really the only casualty because Denker had so much space in choke, was allowed to just walk in and get a headshot. But with that Uber now, France, they've got to go in. They've got to get a lot done with this. They need to get value out of this charge because Tomato's at 60%. If they allow him to back out, they've got a sentry up on the high ground. They've used the Uber already, eXtine. It's just, this sentry is baiting them so hard. And Tomato goes down to Psycho. Huge pick.
Yeah, Psycho sort of had a quiet game, but that is a huge pick. I love that sentry gun. A great offensive play by it. I think he will be able to get one up on last. Just now going for the rebuild of dispenser and sentry. If the pressure comes in here quick enough from France, but they lost CeeJaey again. Mezzo getting the kill there with his pistol.
It's going to be interesting because CeeJaey did go down to Mezzo. So Uber's, like, I mean, Tomato has an Uber advantage on paper, but it's not big of an Uber advantage in terms of Highlander on Gullywash. Definitely not when you're the team holding last. So again, Germany are going to be happy to sit back here knowing if France push, they're going to have an advantage. They're going to be sitting here happy knowing that it's going to take them a while for France to get a charge. And with about 5 minutes left on the clock, you know, we're seeing the time ticking down here. France know they have to get a round on the board sometime soon because, you know, you're kind of thinking at this moment the best hope for the French is to take this to a golden cap.
Yeah, certainly. You know, they're going to need time to work with. It's just taking them so much to push into last. You know, we were here at 18 minutes left to go, and then we were here at 10 minutes to go. Now we're here at 5 minutes to go, and the whole time it stayed 2-0. They just keep bleeding too many players early. Olga has gone down again. They do get a kill on Miju over on Riverside, but Mezzo just stabs out Karnak. So it's like every time they find a quick advantage, it gets taken away from them.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think maybe killing a scout isn't going to be that big of a deal or a heavy, but those are two classes that on 5 CP, they can get a lot of cap time because A, they have twice as much cap power on a scout, and B, a heavy has so much HP, it can take a while before you can actually deal with him on the point. So taking those two classes down means that France aren't going to be able to push. They really have to deal with this sentry. Kalis is trying, but it's pretty much doing it solo. You'd think that there'd be multiple angles for spam here, but France really aren't utilizing the space that they've got. And Germany are happy to just kind of turtle most of their players in this corner here.
And Psycho does go in for a sap on the gun. Somehow can't get it from jumping underneath. Got discovered. The Ubercharge exchange comes out. Matt J, though, is just getting crushed out. That did not go well. Rez getting the frag down in the wood side of the lobby. And Germany is backed up a little bit, but they got the results that they wanted. 4 minutes left on the clock. France repelled once again.
Yeah, again, Kalis gets dropped in that exchange. He's the first one to die. The Uber comes in, and without your demo, trying to focus down a sentry isn't going to work, especially, you know, when you're leading with a pyro. So again, Germany happy to sit back here. Kalis goes down to Zamperoni, not expecting him to be all the way up top on the balcony. And I don't know, 3.5 minutes extra. Do you think France can do something here? It's going to have to be fast.
Yeah, I mean, I hope for their sake that they can get a round on the board just to build some confidence. The German team has proven very strong in their defense. So, I mean, even if they were to lose here, you'd have to feel like they'd find ways to slow it down from mid to last. It's still a possibility right now for France. You just got to put, you know, focus on your next step. Focus on trying to get a round here. They're going to run KritzKast into Ubercharge here, and Matt going to go down again. And just getting, losing a lot of players here. And if you're going to run KritzKast pushing into last where you know they have an Ubercharge, you have to focus on keeping the medic out of it. And I think trying to push through like that under those circumstances, they just got easily wrapped. Germany very coordinated in their defense.
That just seems such a strange play for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue you're having on last is the sentry. The sentry has blocked you 2, 3, 4 times now. It's been the sole issue. Why would you run crits? Crits doesn't do more damage to buildings. And second, why would you use it on a heavy from balcony? I mean, maybe the surprise factor, but it achieves nothing. And they get a couple of kills here, France. But losing Matt J means that they don't have that crits advantage that you can kind of play around. And I don't know, this is getting close to the point where it could be GG now.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost a couple other players. They're sending some players behind point. But wow, what a fantastic trap from Menti. Gets kills on both Borden and Duo. Protecting the point. They're going to have the defensive Ubercharge ready to go here as well. Matt J is back on Ubercharge. They're going to have a time for one more full Ubercharge push here. Maybe 2. They can keep players alive.
Yeah, I mean, something has to happen here. Something big has to happen from this. It is Uber again. Matt J does have it. They need to do something now because the amount of time you have, we've got to remember we've got to have another mid-fight, and you've got to hope that France have got to hope that they win it and roll it all the way to last. But that sentry is still up, and Germany is still all clustered in this one side of the map, and it's proving very, very difficult for France to deal with. The Uber comes in, they're going to focus the sentry. It is going to get wrangled there by Saga, so Denker has gone down. That may help in the post-Uber fight, but Germany has such a much better Uber, and France, I don't think they're going to get much value out of this.
Yeah, that was just real easy for Germany considering how much time that they had on it, as well as the inability for the French Ubercharge to find frags. They're getting a little bit of work done here in the aftermath, but Rez just, wow, WM1ing past the Demoman into the medic. Kalis defends for a little bit, but after having some misses, decides just to head back towards the point, and actually somehow, over on Riverside, they're finding the frags. And I mean, really, that's what they need to do: keep players up and get kills. Olga and other players able to find the kills to get them on the board here on Gully Wash.
It's kind of, it's almost a bitter round, because you think, well, France might be thinking, well, if you just did that before, then you know, they went for the exchange. Ago. Yeah, they did that 18 minutes ago. Who knows what could have happened? They get the kind of the exchange, and then they re-push based on the frags. I don't know. 40 seconds to go. Obviously, it's no chance of France even doing anything there. 40 seconds left on the clock isn't even enough for them to win a mid-fight after that round. But maybe gives them a little bit of momentum, a bit more confidence. It's always nice to get around on the board. But France definitely looking like they're struggling with sealing things out. They definitely were in control. I mean, I wish we had sort of a heat map of where most of the action happened, because I feel for the majority of the game it was played in the German lobby, on their side of the map, and France just couldn't seal it out for a long time. And Germany, let's not forget this was Germany's map pick, of course, but they do win it, and they looked comfortable. They didn't look under pressure until that last minute.
Yeah, goalie wash is a tough one to push into, and you could see that France were kind of missing the set plays or the coordination. They're just continued to drop players, unfortunately. And I want to say that they didn't really kind of commit enough to that underwater push. They had to figure out some way of getting, maybe the engineer involved, +1 somehow. When it was just the pyro and the heavy, they didn't quite have enough momentum with them to create pressure. And there's also just this aspect of like, you need to get in and get in the face of the sentry gun and the demo man with that uber charge. And I don't think that they were quite doing that either. It was just really scattered. It's like, if the scout's not with the heavy and the pyro, then the scout should be with the uber charge. And if you're ubering the scout and the demo, then they should be able to get in and create pressure on more than just the sentry gun. And they just kind of weren't getting the angles, weren't getting the cohesion. But it could have been a map issue, especially with this Nations Cup. We mentioned a little bit about, team schedule, having a week off. Germany did play Scotland in the round of 16. But we have Upward now. And perhaps that this is a map where the French team will feel like their strats are a little bit more polished, or just kind of every player's understanding what they need to do might be better. Stopwatch, different world from 5CP when it comes to the strategies needed from teams.
Definitely, and France obviously be hoping that they can do more on Upward, because if they don't, they are out of the competition. And we will have our 4th straight quarterfinal going 2-0. The other 3 that have happened so far have both been won by 2 maps to 0. I'm taking a look at the logs, eXtine, and I'm just seeing Menti and Rez topping the scoreboards there. Menti with 30 kills in the half an hour, top damaging on the server. Rez with 26, going 26 for 9. So just staying alive. And I don't know, there's maybe not too much to read from there, because it was mostly stalemates towards the the last 20 minutes of the game or so. So you'd expect Menti to be getting those sticky trap kills perhaps, and Rez to get the kind of the counter push Uber kills when he's countering with the Uber, things like that. It does make me wonder though, because I do feel moving on to Upward, players like Mezzo are going to have a lot more room, a lot more space, Denkra as well. So those guys doing pretty decently kills wise, but they'll probably be more activated on a map like Upward. And I've got to wonder who on France is really going to step up their game on Upward. When it comes to Payload, is their cohesion going to be slightly better? And that's going to be the big question for me going into this game.
Yeah, Psycho had some moments, but seemed to be struggling there. Asu X as well seemed like noticed them getting stabbed down quite a few times, not quite able to find the rhythm as well on goalie wash, where to put those guns. We'll see what their defensive structure looks like here. Definitely think that Rez on Pyro, that just kind of really symbolizes just kind of how strong their core was, how cohesive they were. And we'll have to see if on this payload format, if the French can kind of, shake up the kind of straightforward process of the Germans, because they played that goalie wash very strong, just getting a lot of frags, fighting together. Payload, again, just a different world, but they're going to have to protect Matt J from Miju. That was another big factor on goalie wash.
Yeah, I think I do think France. I mean, I may be sounding quite negative towards France, but I feel 2-1 on your opponent's map isn't the worst thing in the world to have happened.
Yeah,
you know, it was relatively close, and like I said, I do feel France were in control of the map for most of the time, whereas Germany were in control of the flow of the game. But coming on to Upward, both of these teams did drop points on this map in the group stages. France dropped some points to the Netherlands. They did win it 4-2, but they dropped one of those rounds. However, they did have a much changed roster. They were missing 3 players in that game, whereas Germany did have their full roster against Belgium, and they did drop a round on this map as well. So both teams coming in without a perfect record on this map. Maybe France thinking, okay, we've got our full roster now, and maybe we're gonna slip into this slightly better. They did pick it, and you'd think that they'd be confident on it based on that pick. And I think Germany definitely, not going to be 100% confident the fact that they didn't get a perfect round on it in the group stage. So it's all to play for, really. But I do think that the combo for France needs to do slightly more. Not more as in, I don't know. I think they just need to really match up against the German combo, because the German combo, that Menti, Zamp, Rez, those 3 are doing a lot of work for them right now, and they need to really, match up to that.
Yeah, Kalis staying alive, soaking up those heals, getting that damage out. That'll be another big factor. The sniper battle in that first map was pretty close, so it'll be interesting to see that this map's a little bit more freewheeling, a little bit more intense in terms of just kind of snipers having huge angles to work with. So that'll be an important battle to keep our eye on.
Yeah, I think the sniper battle is going to be fairly crucial. I mean, it's interesting seeing both of these teams playing with snipers maybe they're not used to. Kazarok playing some of the games for France at the start of the competition, or at least that was the plan, I believe. And Denkra, I think this may be his first game for Germany, with them using a number of different snipers earlier on in the competition. But so it'll be interesting to see who's going to really stand up above the rest and perform in this game.
Yeah, we are live here with our second map. Germany taking our first map, goalie wash, with a 2-1 final score after holding a 2-0 lead for most of the map. Let's see what France can do here on defense as we get out underway in this ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup, our last quarterfinal before we get into the semifinals, and our second map here.
Be interesting because I did a video before the tournament eXtine, and I pointed out 4 or 5 of my favorites, and one of them was England, who's been knocked out. One of them was USA, who's been knocked out. One of them was Denmark, who's been knocked out, and one of them was France, who have also been, well, they're one map down in their game, so they need to step it up here, otherwise my predictions are going to look awful. I did say that Russia and Finland would do well as well, so I've still got them in the running, but France picking this map, so you've got to think they have some strats that they're going to rely on.
Yeah, there's certainly been some surprises in this tournament. We'll see if France can push it to that third map, which would be Product, or if Germany can surprise us with some tactics of their own. They try the tactic that Jake Waddy's been attributing to the bull sack, sending the demo man with the parachute. He gets taken out on the side. So their kind of first couple players sent forward, not really finding much action. And in fact, France Psycho gets the backstab on Zamperoni. Sniped down immediately. Dankra couldn't save his teammate though.
Yeah, Neo being down right now is causing Germany to be very aggressive with this, and they've used the Uber, very early on as Stalemate went down to about 60 HP. Rez has been dropped from this, and France countering, keeping the majority of their players alive. Mezzo takes down Neo, so Neo is down again, and I do think France just not in position right now. Germany getting so much cap time, eXtine, and just look where Madjay is. He's all the way back on the hill. They have to run away.
Yeah, a little bit disconnected in terms of, are we staying here, are we fighting, are we getting out? Oh gosh, and Kalis gets destroyed by Menti. As this hesitancy's... Oh my god. is hurting them. Neo gets the snipe on Miju to keep things alive, keep things rolling here. The Spy starting to infiltrate as well. Going to try to get behind Neo here perhaps. Is sort of spotted out, but disastrous transition. We'll see if Germany can really capitalize on this. But no, they lose Domato up top.
That is huge from Duo. Duo has been really excelling over the past kind of 6 months, I have to say. And then we see the Uber coming out from MadJ. Kalis is going to try to chase. Managed to take down Denkra. A lot of players dead for Germany. That is really, really big for France there.
And Asu X, kind of some bold plays, but thankfully for him, he does get the sentry gun down. Was trying to rotate it to the hill. He was really weak somehow and got dropped. But his sentry gun does go down, so level 3 is still up for the defense here.
They're losing too many players though. Neo's gone down again. Seems to be dying a lot so far in this early round. Not getting that protection. And MadJ's pretty weak. It is basically equal Ubers here, eXtine, and no sniper and no sentry. I think Germany are just going to walk this and probably cap it for free.
Well, the sentry will come back as a level 3. He did pull it back, but it's in the house itself, and no real other players that are able to offer a solid defense. So he'll pull that sentry back one more time. It'll help with the hold of 3. They do have Neo who can snipe from Roller Coaster here shortly. The second point has been conceded by France.
Yeah, Neo needs to really start winning these sniper battles, I feel. Maybe get a bit of more of a buff, as, I don't know, he just seems to be getting focused so hard by every player. France need to focus, and we see Mezzo's coming up now on the tracks, and it's probably going to go straight for him. And look at T-Borden, definitely spy checking, does not want anyone getting close to his sniper. Mezzo's going to maybe go for the play now. He's waiting. No, he's not going to go for it. And look at France. They're just being very, very passive. They're hiding almost, and it's giving so much free cap time for Dreamy and Saga on the car. They're just pushing this with no resistance.
Yeah, this is a section that you do need to actually actively defend. I mean, otherwise it's just free turf, and the whole point of this map is to capture that cart. So you can't just let them have it without a fight. I mean, otherwise you're literally giving up the game. On the side here, Karnax was over there contesting. He has gotten taken out by the bombing soldier. Also, Neo has to deal with Saga and Dreamy floating around, as well as Miju. So a lot of pressure on him. Kayla's isolated alone, taken out. And France has been bleeding players recently. The cart is going to start getting pushed again. This capture is going to, this corner is going to go down. Sentry gun again pulled out, but not much of a consolation.
It's all too easy for Germany right now.
Yeah.
France had the better Uber there on the defense. They tried to catch people out on the chase, but the thing is that you worry about overextending there, and that's exactly what France did. And the players who weren't involved in the Uber were just cleaned up, and it just ends up in a situation where you're just outnumbered and outgunned, and then they just push in very, very easily. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Neo's gone down to Denker again, and Kalis gets taken down by Miju. Demo and Sniper down is awful. It's going to give so much space for Germany to just go in, especially T-Borden goes down as well.
Yeah, it's one of those defenses where the medic, unfortunately due to circumstances, standing so far back with Olga that it's just kind of lose one player, lose one player, lose one player. Now all of a sudden it's just MadJ upstairs alone. Has to back down, jump back down to get to players that have respawned. Spy is going to go for a sap here. Does get found out by Neo. But they've given so much room for Germany to work with. The Overcharge does come in here, and Domato does go down to that, so good counter push out. But it's been kind of iffy here from MadJ. Looks like they will sort of reset things here as Olga getting chased from a spy. Survives though, that's big.
Duo is doing so much work. He was the one who took down Domato when he was about 96% or something like that, which enabled MadJ to have that big Uber advantage. And pushing out again, he's involved with the push, takes down Domato again, another med pick for his logs, but he's doing so much work for them. And, I'm not faulting anyone else, but Duo right now is the stand-up player for France, and if they win this, it's definitely going to be a lot down to him. He's focusing on the floor right now. Karnax gets taken down by Miju. But that sentry up by Asics, you take a look at the teleporter, they've managed to get a teleporter up to the high ground as well. So France are set up here, and they can maybe just relax a little bit now. It's been a fast few first points, but they can just chill, relax, and just say, hey, let's get a few more minutes on this last point, and it's not going to be that bad of a time for us.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more of a defense here, and they will have plenty of time to work with. Ubercharge from Domato and Menti just coming straight down the tracks. The Sentry Gun has gotten pulled back for now. See if he can get it reset up. But nobody really pushing the cart here as Domato has gone down. Denkra as well. The push in retreat. Zamproni upstairs by himself. But France got all the way out round the corner to put that forward pressure on. Very well done by them.
Yeah, it's really well played. And they do get a pick onto Karnax, but again, they're not getting anything major. They're not getting any of these big classes that they need to take down. CeeJaey is in the corner. He's well protected. You know, they're just a little bit of building there, I think, from Kalis with the samurai sword, just to make sure they keep that edge above them. And I don't know. I think now it's about Germany proving that they can work things out. Asics using the Frontier Justice gets a kill there onto Mezzo with the old crits, and a bit of pressure here from Germany, but they really need to start thinking about maybe doing a dry push or a suicide.
Yeah, France could have pushed. Well, they're dry pushing right now. There we go. France finally punishing this as Duo comes in from the side. But basically, Germany was trying to fight upstairs without any Ubercharge. Just waited there way too long. Miju even gets Reflect killed. Matt somehow got sniped down though. So I guess they got a little too overconfident with the counter push out. That could lead to some danger. Overall, it's been a very successful push though. Our defense, they're going to be still pretty happy with this. Domato trying to get out there a little bit to get some forward pressure. This cart has rolled backwards quite a ways. Finally now some players from Germany starting to touch it again. Denkra gets stabbed down. That's all Psycho can get out. Karnax now running down low to deal with Miju. Miju very low but still alive right now. Dewa going to find the finish there as most of the players for Germany back by the corner here, not pushing in yet. Kalis just got stabbed. That's a big loss.
That's a big loss. I mean, Psycho taking down Denkra earlier on was maybe not a priority pick on the surface, but it means that Asics still has that level 3 wrangling, and it's just denying any sort of cart time. So as long as he's protected, the cart really cannot be pushed much further, and they're doing a really good job of this. But again, the Uber comes in from Germany. Do take down Olga, and this is looking not too good for France. CeeJaey gets taken down by Denkra there, and France are losing players. It's all about Asics here. If he can take his sentry and just carry his team, it's getting focused so hard. Deep Borden's trying to reflect it. It's staying alive here, eXtine. Wow. It is buying as much time as France can survive, but no, I think Germany may be able to push the cart in now.
Yeah, nice. Sorry. The Pyro dive bombed across the point. I think we just barely saw that on point. Dive bomb across the point, tried to get a reflect, tried to do something, just go straight into the point. Noble hold at the end there by France, getting us close to 9 minutes. It was really looking rough for the first 3 points, but they finally turned it on. Very strong. That staircase hold from them worked out really well.
Yeah, and this is something that we see quite often with teams on this map. You know, the first few points, especially in the first round, can go fairly quickly. However, once they get themselves settled up and on last, and in a situation where they don't have a disadvantage, France looked very comfortable. And teams kind of, when you've got your back against the wall, there's no further space for you to back out. That's when you can start grinding some time. And you consider the first 3 points went down in about 4 minutes, 12 seconds. It's, another 4 minutes and a half on top just on the last point alone. So Germany feeling maybe a little bit of grief there, considering Domato died a lot. France being aggressive with their pushes out with the Uber, and Duo I think must have about 4 or 5 med picks by this point. He keeps catching Domato out. So I do think the real test on Upward is whether your team can coordinate a push, and I think this is where France are really going to show if they can win this map or not.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the opening bombs and sacks come for them. If they can get some damage on this sentry gun. Right now, Psycho gets in the playground. Bull sack not really working out. Kalis still airborne. Makes it all the way over to the side of the cliff. So distracting for a while longer, but the sentry gun stays up. Half health. Saga will get it all the way full back up shortly here. And the Vista Steel heavy weapons guy and Karnax do get the cart pretty far forward.
They take down Miju, but that's not that big of a pick, really. If they can remove Denkra or get a force or something like that, then that's going to be really good, as we do see a big one from Duo. But Teleport has gone down, which is going to slow down on the respawns, but hey, you got to kill some people before they have a chance to respawn, of course.
Yeah, and Psycho Okay, I was gonna say almost maybe makes a little bit of a mental slip up to be like, I'm gonna go destroy their teleporter. Like, well, the exit was just killed, you know, but he's still kind of hanging out cliffside, not kind of making an approach on sentry gun. He's probably gonna come in from tunnels to try to do so shortly. But in the meantime, France has kind of been held back here. They have popped the Ubercharge here. They're very far back forward with it. Duo does bomb forward, fighting with Muja, not quite getting the kill immediately. Ubercharge really kind of not accomplishing much. Psycho going to come in on the gun. Now he decloaks, but spotted immediately, so gets a sap, but that's cleaned up. And France, no luck on their first real significant push here.
I'm not sure what the problem is, whether KritzKast is like, 2 seconds too far forward, or whether his team's not keeping up with his calls. I'm not sure what the problem is in the combo, but KritzKast has been dropped from so many Ubers this game. He is getting focused as soon as he turns a corner, and when you don't have your demo man in an Uber push, it's very difficult. But saying that, Menti goes down to KritzKast, so now this is a chance for maybe France to get a bit of momentum and start pushing this point. And I do think Damato's running away. I think they want to back out here.
Yeah, France very banged up, but they are going to be able to survive here and get the damage out, take the space. They get a kill on Zipperoni. Oh no, forced to Ubercharge. That is unfortunate.
That's really, it's going to really play into Germany's hands. You take a look at where they are right now. They are with this forward hold. They've got a sentry very far forward.
Yeah, the teleporter was left alive. Mezzo comes out of it, gets the stab on Neo and on Olga. Oh man, just running trains on these guys.
I mean, Neo's going to be having nightmares tonight. He's being focused by so many of these players, Mezzo especially, just going onto him constantly, and is giving Dunkra so much room, so much space, freedom, without worrying about getting sniped if the enemy sniper is constantly dead. But the thing about this sentry, eXtine, it is covering the top, right? It is watching the top. And it's not the normal position for a sentry. Azix is just pushing the car. He dies now, but look how far he's got the car. Pretty much for free, because no one's watching the tunnel. Like, everyone on Germany's watching the top right now.
Yeah, sort of reminiscent of Badwater there. Just sort of conceding a little bit of the tunnel space. But they have also lost a couple other key players here. France surging forward now with this Ubercharge. Menti has had the Ubercharge used on him, but it might burn down here. Yes, indeed, he does. So Germany, their Ubercharge fizzles out. Not really all that useful. They've lost a lot of players. Dreamy still lurking behind, and Muja pushing from the front, but that's it. France stays together as a unit. Muja bombing in. Can't find a second rocket on Matt J. He goes down. The capture has happened. France going to be surging forward afterwards as well.
This is a huge opportunity for France right now. I mean, I'm going to have to say that's a misplay from Saga. He should not have his sentry on the top gun. It does deny the sort of forward pressure, but you don't need that when you've got a sniper, a demo, a heavy. You've got all those players watching the top. Nobody watching the tunnel. That cart was allowed to be pushed straight up to the exit, and when that Uber exchange happened, they just focused the car. They are getting some kills here. Neo's gone down again. He keeps getting focused, but Denkra's gone down to Psycho, and that gives everyone else on France the room to maneuver. And there we go, Dreamy, Zamperoni, all going down. Germany with their backs to the wall right now. They've only got 5 players alive, and they have an Uber disadvantage here. I'm not sure if France have realized their advantage. They're going to Uber in next time. They're going to take it straight into Tomato.
Yeah, this is a great Uber. Neo's going to get on the cart. They need a few more players to be able to get the most out of this. They're just ×1 for a long time, but now they're ×3 again. They've also taken up so much turf, but the Ubercharge comes out of stairs defensively here. Rez, they get the kill on KritzKast, but that's really all they can accomplish, because the Uber faded already. They've backed up. They're still continuing to get some frags, but it's sort of one of these transitional periods on this map that it just doesn't really matter. As long as Matt J stays up, getting the kill on Olga, getting the kill on KritzKast just doesn't matter. They're going to push the car towards the corner here. 50% charge. France started this map off terribly, but after a very strong defensive last, getting some time for themselves to work with, they have 3.5 minutes here to try to push in and take this first set.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Matt J's died so far on the attack here. Maybe once. But he's just been constantly alive, and it's been this constant aggression from France. It's taken them slightly slow, but it took them about 5 minutes to capture that third point, which is only about 50 seconds slower than Germany, and we considered that very fast. So there we go. Psycho is doing so much work in this game. He takes down Saga, which means no sentry. I mean, the sentry's there, but it's not being guarded, so it gets some spam on it as the Uber does come in, but Germany have it ready. and they're just going to exchange it on the stairs here, and Germany just looking all sorts of uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, pretty good exchange from France as they're able to back up. Now they need to kind of work those angles again or see what they can get done with this dry push. But it seems like they're going to have to back up. The Pyro took a lot of damage. She's going to have to go get the health pack in stairs. Right now, Kalis and Olga still alive in the bottom of the stairs. They've taken some damage, but some frags have come out. The respawn's happening as well, though, as Zamperoni will be getting back into action shortly here. Olga down low, trying to spam in towards the gun. That gun actually so weak right now. Psycho will be able to get over there, get a sap on it. Kayla's fighting on the stairs, but Rez gonna get a big frag on him. Matt J going down as well. So France seemed like they had a bit of an opportunity there, but not able to fire the frags after a very long, scrappy fight. The cart rolling backwards, 2 minutes left on the clock.
Pretty sure Saga got killed by his own sentry at some point there.
Oh.
And as he comes out of the respawn, he puts down a sentry, and then Duo's just waiting around the corner and kills him. So Saga really hasn't been able to get any sort of defense up here with his sentries. And that's kind of the constant pressure from France. They do have a disadvantage now, though, eXtine. So, 1 minute and 45 seconds, France really need to get something done. They've got to get rid of this Uber out of the equation, and they need to get some time, because there is now a sentry watching main, and it's definitely going to make it harder to push that car.
Yeah, and certainly you still have to keep the pressure up during these down moments. Try to keep that cart as far forward as you can. It's sort of slipped backwards. It's still certainly close enough. Psycho trying to wait for the right moment here to get a stab in sap. He will be able to get the gun down, though. But they've lost Neo. Zamperoni going down for Germany. That might make the stairs more vulnerable. We should see an Uber exchange here pretty shortly here. Borden does come out. Germany a little bit later with their Uber charge. They're standing tall on top of the stairs, though. Olga eating a sandwich underneath. We'll see if the dry push afterwards can be effective. They get the kill on Menti. Upstairs fighting. Tomato goes down as well. Rez still alive up there. But the cart has gone very far forward. Uber
45 seconds to go here.
Yeah, 45 seconds on the clock. Sentry gun just a mini. This fight's so scrappy, but France keeping players alive. They just need to continue to frag these players that are defending for Germany. The heavy weapons guy has gone down, only 2 players up. Miju fragged out. It's just Dankra at the back, sniping from behind. Oh my god, the cart cleared off right now. The scout has gone in there, stopped it. Wow, so close to the push, so close to the ledge, but it stopped. Karnak's trying to get it over the lip again, but no, he is fragged. He has gone down. Duo now trying to get in there. Neo, the only player alive and close to the point.
That is so close, and that's all down to Menti on the respawn. Germany still not out of the woods yet. 5 seconds to go. T-Border's on the car. They need to do something. They're so close.
Oh,
1 second.
He's coming in. Oh, and the scout flying, and they get the defense. Absurd defense from Germany. They're saving it.
Menti got 8 kills in the last few seconds there. 8 kills. When the cart was about to go in there, they just needed one person, any person, just somebody in the French team needed to raise their hand and say, I'm going to go towards the spawn. Because the German respawns came in, Menti threw stickies on the point, killed about 3 or 4 people on the cart. Nobody was blocking the spawns. Nobody was taking the attention off of anything but the cart. And then when the respawns came in again from France, Menti's again there, no pressure on the demo, 8 kill streak in the last, 10-15 seconds there from the demo man. That's how detrimental it is to not block the spawns. So close from France. They're going to be feeling that one next time. That's going to be feeling raw.
That was insanely close, and that's one of those ones in Payload where you also just sort of at the end of the day have to be like, well, did we have time when we could have been pushing harder? Was there time that the cart was rolling back that we could have just touched it to stop it from rolling back? I mean, every inch matters. If they just had a little bit more space there, they could have had that. It was so close. And checking that damage, wow, 558 damage per minute off of Menti. That is insane. The next one up was Duo, who you called out for being very effective, but he only had 400 damage per minute. 250 more damage per minute from Menti over Kalis. So that's just an insane differential.
It is a huge difference, but I do wonder. I want to see like the stage by stage stats. I want to see how much damage Menti did in that last like few seconds. It must have been a couple of thousand. Just insane output onto the cart there. But again, we're seeing this kind of combo play. Again, it's Menti and Rez at the top of the scoreboard. 21 and 20 kills. Yeah. Denkro getting a lot of kills as well. But it just feels like France. The combo aren't having as much of an impact. When we rank by death, you take a look at who's dying the most. Soldier is at 18, okay. Psycho, Spy at 17, okay. Miju, another, the soldiers and the spies are all there, but Kalis is there with 17, and he's dying a lot. And I feel like if he is involved in these Ubers, they seem to be working so much better. That goes without saying. If you drop your demo before an Uber, it's going to be so much harder for you to get anything done. So France need to work on keeping Kalis alive, keep him protected, make sure he's involved in the Ubers. But Germany with one foot in the semi-finals now, eXtine.
Yeah, France is going to need a strong offensive time here. I mean, even if it basically matches that last half, Germany are going to be feeling very strong about it. As you mentioned, keeping Kalis up is going to be really important. You're also going to need to find some help for Neo in some way. Denkra has gotten 6 frags on Neo this map compared to Neo only getting 3. And just sniper control, very important in the beginning parts of Upward, and even going into last as well. So we'll see what they can make a change here. France going to have to set a nice pace here on offense.
Yeah, and I think they'll be confident at least, in doing that. They felt comfortable on the attack. They managed to get the first 3 points fairly quickly. They almost captured that last point right at the end there. So if they just keep playing that the way they were doing there, like I said, keep Kalis alive, make sure Neo is protected as well, because when he was alive, he was actually doing some decent work. And I feel if they protect him a little bit more from the spies, there's a nice bomb incoming from Dwo, curves all the way around. And then as it's called, the bowl sack, does manage to get the kill onto the sentry here, eXtine. So getting more value out of that parachute this time around.
Yeah, that was really an insane skip jump from Duo. Shows you the potential of soldiers and their mobility. Open things up for Kalis to get that cleanup though as well afterwards. We'll see if they can really follow it up with anything though, but that sentry gun, fending Kalis off again. It takes the Wrangler to pick him off as he was out of the normal sentry distance. That sentry gun is almost level 3 again, so it's kind of like a really good bomb to open things up here. But things have kind of slowed down now.
I feel that this parachute strat doesn't really work. And I'm going to tell you why, because when you're floating in the air like that, all the NG needs to do is wrangle you and you die, even at a level 2. So you may take down the sentry or the teleporter, but that's what you're getting, whereas everyone else on the team can focus forward and kill everything else. As an exchange happens now, Mezzo goes down. That's really the only casualty, and actually both spies go down in that Uber exchange. But now France looking to re-push here, eXtine, and getting some decent ground on the far side.
Yeah, but they're not quite finding the frags either. I mean, their Pyro is forward. Kalis now in some trouble. We'll get some heals here. Still very banged up. And gets his sandwich stolen from him as the soldier took it instead. But they're still going to get forward here and get the capture. So that does work out fairly well. Oh, watch out for the spy though. Okay, Mezzo is spotted out.
He still stays alive though, so he's still going to be probably going to go for Neo here. No, Neo's all too aware of it. He's going to turn around. And France, with so much ground, taking forward. Kalis goes down again. He's just too far forward compared to the rest of his team. Doesn't have that support from the heavy underneath. As a Dwo goes for a bomb, maybe tries to get something, but no, that gets reflected. And France losing a lot of players here. Germany on a bit of a passive hold eXtine, but I think they'll be able to regroup and maybe even take this to a forward hold now.
And it's one of those things, they got a lot of time on the cart, so it's unfortunate that that first push kind of fell apart for France, but they kept their Uber charge up, and this situation is still fine. They're going to want a clean push in here.
Yeah, I mean, they have equal Ubers, and I don't think France is scared of taking these equal Uber exchanges. I mean, Germany seem to be wanting to go for the suicides and get something done, but France... I mean, look at where the cart is, and now Saga has changed his sentry position. It is watching the tunnel, and you look, see, someone tried to poke the cart, and they just get destroyed straight away. So it's really not working out for getting free carp time, and France are just losing players to the remainder of the German team on the high ground.
Yeah, that sentry gun was further back, but they've determined, okay, you know, we're actually feeling super comfortable here. You can move that sentry gun up. We can hold this defense a little bit more actively. Asu X goes down on the side. Kayla's going down as well. Again, we mentioned those are players you just can't lose here. And you're trying to get forward, but you don't have a demo man to work with, so you're going to try to spam heavy weapon shots at it. They do get the sentry gun, but it's tough to round the corner fast enough. Duo gets out here, but it does look like Germany have made the strategical call to just pull back to concede that second point. Pretty content with the defense that they were able to offer with that. Don't want to lose more players as they're not full force right now.
It was really well played. Neo was the one who got the opening pick onto Menti, so no demo. And then Rez got dropped from the Uber as, you know, Olga was getting tanked there. He gets another kill. Olga's on a bit of a mad one right now, and just walking forward. But oh no, Kalis falls into the hole, off the cliff, and that's going to be very detrimental to France's efforts of just continuing to push forward here.
Well, Rez was hiding behind, trying to get a sneaky kill. Does come up behind Matt J, but Matt J, with the help of his scout, Matt J gets a saw on him and then the kill. So the Uber charges will be a little bit more even. Should speed things up for France here a little bit. But also right now they've stopped pushing the cart. And really only 3.5 minutes to work with here. That's not as much time as they had last offensive push here. And of course they still struggle to push into last in time in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely slower. They're getting some cart time here now, but it's all going to be about, like, see, the cart rolls down these slopes, and if they don't manage to get up these slopes with any sort of quickness, I should say, then it's just going to roll back down. But they do manage to do it, and Kalis is there in support. He's supporting his team. It would be nice if the rest of the combo was maybe on the tracks as well, helping as Dwo goes in, but no, it's just a bit of a fake bomb there, and Germany just, I don't know, looking a little bit nervous, playing very passive here right now.
France getting tracked with this Wrangler, Psycho, as he was trying to come in. The overcharge coming out here from France here, as they're going to be able to take some space, take the corner. Menti. Nice reflex, throwing Menti over the edge. He almost went into the house, but instead, over the edge of the point. The spy decloaks on the cart, but we have the ×3, the classic engineer's scout pushing it. And Kayla's going to take the corner. It's a lot of turf gained by France here.
Yeah, that was a really good push by France. And again, taking these equal exchanges, something that you don't necessarily see very often, just going for these exchanges and hoping to pick up enough damage, enough kills in order to make a repush possible. They're losing a lot of players here, but don't think they're going to worry too much. As long as Matt J survives, they've managed to get the cart really far forward. And, you know, it puts them in good stead for maybe just another push when those players come in, because they've already respawned now. Germany are going to be able to set themselves up on last, though. Level 3 being built by Saga. So, you know, now this is where France, you know, this is where it decides whether they win or not, I feel. If they can push this last in, you know, the next minute or two, then great. If it takes longer than that, then it's really not going to be looking like a great time.
Yeah, I felt like they had a good opportunity to open things up on that initial push, but they sort of backed up, weren't able to clear out stairs, even though Zamperoni was really weak. I mean, that's sort of something, caster information, they didn't know his exact health. They're trying to get up here with this Uber charge now. The full exchange coming out, though. Duo gets taken out on the side. Olga gets dropped as well. So 4 players going down in quick succession, but actually the Uber charge hasn't come out here for France. So if they can sneak away, they should have a good offensive opportunity here now. As these players really coming back in action and full Uber advantage.
That was really good from France. They just went in for the suicides, just throw in everybody that they can afford to lose up those stairs. Now they have an Uber advantage, and you know, if they can make this work, it should be pretty prolific, as Kalis is going to go forward. Uber is used, but they've lost Neo and Dwo during the exchange, and Saga's trying to run away with his sentry in tow. No, the pipe takes him to the face. Zamperoni's gone down. Kalis takes down the teleporter with his sword, but they haven't got very many kills here, eXtine, and they're actually wrapping around here. Tomato's behind.
Yeah, a huge play here from Bordon as they catch Tomato behind, and Bordon actually kind of did a little pyro jump from around the staircase into the window of that white room upstairs. In the meantime, though, the cart pressure and other pressure on last point haven't been that huge. Not too many players up for Germany, but Miju gets a kill on the cart, taking out the scout. These players kind of slow to get in here. Now the pyro on the cart. Dankra still sniping across, though. Neo is out here, And our medic trying to connect with Duo, but kind of disconnecting from him. Which way is he going? Upstairs, downstairs? Nobody pressuring the cart, and France doesn't have the players here, even though the opportunity seems to be there to push this all the way across.
Yeah, I mean, Neo got a great snipe there onto Tomato, which means Magic has a huge Uber advantage. They have so many bodies in it, you know, Karnax is on the cart right now, but there we go. The players come in from Germany, the respawns, Uber is used on cart, T-Border's trying to push it in.
There we go.
826 though. I just have to rewind a little bit if we can, eXtine. so France get the suicides, right? And they force the Uber. They have an Uber advantage. France use that Uber advantage up the stairs, and they chase down Germany. Okay? And they take down Saga and his sentry because he was carrying it. Why did Germany try to wrap around behind them? Why did they? I don't understand, because they had about 80%. If they just kited it back to spawn, they had a charge, and then they could have just played from their spawn and pushed out. Surely.
Yeah, here's what happened as I saw it, is they were holding the top of stairs. As that Uber charge came out, they rotated into the, let's call it, white room, that small nook, I don't know, heaven, I'm not sure what other terms get called for it. Then I think that they had stickies on the ground trying to block that off, and they were trying to just stay in there. But Bourdon had a great jump from kind of that balcony. I don't know if he had the jetpack or did a detonator jump, but jumped over into that window to kind of flank the stickies. And then at that point, they had no choice but to head down to that health pack at the bottom of the stairs. So they kind of got flushed out. I think the initial thought of rotating to the white room was good, but just kind of scrappy defense that got away from them.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel like scrappy, and I think France getting the cap there, Germany may have felt that they could have bought some more time if they hadn't, you know, I don't know, maybe just played things slightly differently. But hey, if they win this, if they cap now in the next 8 minutes, then they are going to be going through to the semi-finals. That's where we are right now. It's match point.
Yeah, France got to be feeling fairly good about things. You know, if they hold their defense as well as they did to start this map up, they will win this set. But, you know, it just kind of comes down to what's going to happen in the next 8 minutes. That first sack did take down the sentry gun, but the sentry gun level 2, the second wave of offense here, has been pushed back.
Did you see that in the kill feed there? T-Borden managed to get a reflect sticky kill. I don't think I've seen one of those in years. I mean, he reflects the sticky back at Menti, who detonates it and, you know, kills himself. So very, that's a very rare kill feed icon. As the Uber does come in now from Germany, they've already lost Rez though. He gets sniped by Neo. That's really big. And Tomatoes, for some reason, running towards tunnel. He's going to get caught out, and it's not looking good. But then the repush is coming in, and both teams are losing players left, right, and center here.
Yeah, it seems like Dreamy, as well as some of the other players working up front for Denmark, really making a big difference there. As Menti and the Uber charge kind of got separated, thrown up on cliff, didn't really work out too well, but the defense just stretched too thin. Now they're going to have to focus on defending second. They have a level 2 sentry gun up on the corner. Not much pressure on the hillside yet, but there's not that many players from Germany there yet.
No, they do have an Uber. Oh, that's a big pick. That's a big pick, actually, because Germany have this advantage, which means that if Germany decide to push, they do lose Kalis, but they've lost Zamperini, they've lost Dreamy, they've lost Miju, and that's going to give a lot of comfort, a lot of room for France to just take a breath now, chill out, and just regroup. And not too good for them to way there.
Yeah. Duo runs into Saga on the side. They change. Saga gets thrown off the cliff. They do have that little mini sentry over there still from Saga, but basically Germany are starting from a blank slate with this offensive push here.
And actually what was sort of a 20% Uber advantage has turned out to equal Ubers. Magic actually gets his Uber just before Tomato does. So, you know, France now just having to buy and exchanging on the side tunnel. Kalis staying out of it. Very wise, as T-Board is just going to deny most of it. Menti goes down. Olga goes down in response. And now Germany probably going to try and dry push this. Zamperini is so weak, he's going to burn to death. And I think that comes out in advantage for France.
Yeah, that was really well played by them. I mean, they Ubered beforehand. Obviously, in a lot of circumstances, you have to be the one popping first. You don't necessarily want to be. In this situation, when it's such a defensive Uber on a payload map, if you pop into somebody and then they pop in response, a lot of times they just caught awkwardly off guard and not a good position to use it at all. and the ensuing fight afterwards worked out very well for them. Right now, though, they just lost Kalis. I don't know if it's just because of that Asu X is going to pull this sentry gun back, puts it all the way inside a house, and that really represents to me a full concession of this second point. We'll take the sentry gun further back. They use Ubercharge. Yeah, wow, actually. Seemed like faulty intelligence there, thinking that the team was right around the corner. Menti will back up and get at least a little bit of health, not burned to death, but an Ubercharge available for Matt J. We'll see if they can actually implement their defense here, though. It seemed like last time that they were in this position, they weren't really able to put up a good fight, but a large Ubercharge advantage. And they're just going to try to drag this out for as long as possible.
Yeah, France in a good position right now. Menti's actually going to go in for some sort of suicide, but doesn't get anything done. In comes the soldier. Neo goes down. Miju gets 2. Takes down Neo and Karnax before finally succumbing to the minigun. However, you know, Kalis goes down as well. France have lost 4 players, and so much free cap time for Germany. This is cap time they don't really want to give up, and Olga's gone down as well. eXtine. They're just bleeding players.
Yeah, losing Kalis there is huge because you know, no one has projectiles like the Demo Man. No one else can really kind of curve shots in over the top of that hill just like he can. They're trying to use the Pyro Ubercharge here just to get something out of this defense. Switch the Ubercharge over to Karnax. He gets the kill on Menti, and oh no, they can't quite stop the capture, and that means that they're gonna have to fall back here. And yeah, disastrous because Olga was going for the ambush, the Spy was taking their time for the ambush, and it just kind of Olga went down. Just that defense of the third point didn't work out. 3 minutes here to push for Germany. We saw France kind of suffer with the similar amount of time here. But Germany have an Ubercharge advantage here. They're going to take the staircase here. A lot of advantages in their favor. Going to be able to get a kill on Olga here. The Fist of Steel delay it. But just a level 1 sentry across the way. Menti has to back up a little bit, but they have control of upper completely here. Denkra, where did he go? He just got
He's timed out.
Yeah, just got DC'd out. Looking at him, all of a sudden he just completely disappeared. It might not really matter too much though. Muja on the point. Karnax comes in to try to fight off, but he gets killed. So we got plenty of pressure on the cart. Domato staying down low, getting heals nearby. France has 5 players up. They're throwing some good offense towards this defense here. Psycho tries to get in with the stab, can't get it, but Domato gets sniped down by Neo. Heavy on the cart gets taken out. Can the Pyro get it over the edge? Miju fighting as well. Karnax jumping forward. Rez gets taken out behind the point. And now a bomb in, but the medic's still up. They get the Ubercharge pop here. France keeping their defense alive here. Germany thrown all the way back out.
That is so clutch there. So many players just stepping up to the plate as France able to push all the way out here, but they've lost Kalis and Olga. That's not really what you want to do. Those 2 players, you kind of want to keep them alive. France do have an Uber advantage here, but Zamparo is walking in. Does get taken down, but this is going to be close. 1 minute and 45 seconds. This is equal Ubers, but Germany just seem to be getting so much ground and so many picks for free at the moment.
Yeah, a couple players respawning here. Germany not quite in on this point. The cart is rolling backwards. There was a Spy nearby who got the stab on the sniper. I thought he was going to touch the cart as well. He didn't. Looks like Saga going to run in here, be the first one to get some presence on the cart. He's going to get shoved backwards here as Germany kind of pushing through heaven right now here. Ubercharge comes out, but players kind of getting thrown around. Domato still able to get some heals out, but a Pyro comes flying in on the cart, getting some defense. He's been Ubercharged. Our defensive players here have been able to stay alive here. Domato down low, isolated though. Mezzo is out there. Saga on the point as well. Rez on the point. And I think they might be able to get this. Nobody able to fly down here. Oh no, now it's the Pyro and the Soldier. They shove everybody away and Rez has gone down. The defense holds once again. 45 seconds here. Might be getting desperate as France standing strong here against Germany.
I'll tell you what, if Tom Holland ever wants to retire, I think T. Borden would be an excellent Spider-Man. He has been swinging around this map so far.
Yeah,
he is flying in. He is probably not the one reason, but he is a big part of the reason why France is still in control right now. They still have space on the last point. The cart has not gone in yet. Kalis is just flinging stickies onto the cart. Anyone who tries to touch that cart is going to die. As Dreamy's trying to remove those stickies, so much pressure. 12 seconds left to go. T-Borden flies
Oh
again.
my god! Again, yeah, he comes flying in, throws people over the edge. The Uber charge on the cart. 5 seconds left. And there's just a sentry gun, Denkra running towards it. But France, they've held on defense. Even a huge reflex kill on Miju just to top it off.
It's just every single time I'm watching the cart and I'm thinking, wow, Germany have got a lot of players on the cart right now. Oh wow, they've got their heels on the cart, and then T-Borden's just like just flies in. Like I swear, at one point he pushed D'Amato into the pit. I don't think he like died because of the pit, but he was tumbling in as he died. Just T-Borden just flying around and doing amazingly. I mean, everybody on the French team was really pulling things out there. Karnax had a couple of great kills in a clutch situation at the end. Also, Olga was doing a great job in just tanking and just being sort of a last bastion there. And of course, the engineer Asics was just kind of keeping that sentry up, making sure stuff was going onto the cart. Really well played by everyone there. And again, 2 rounds we've seen eXtine on upward. Both of them, we've seen the cart teetering in. It could have been 2-0 to France right now. It could have been 2-0 to Germany. But as it is 1-1.
Yeah, pretty insane stuff there. Very, very close rounds. And again, just kind of those, those millimeters matter. And Germany, the cart was slipping backwards, Spy not quite touching it. Things just sort of kind of getting away from him as that push kind of continued. Denkra, well, I guess he reconnected. That's why he doesn't have too many points on the board there. Just kind of the end of that, yeah, unfortunate for Germany. Such a strong defense from France, and yeah, T-Borden really turning it up. He wasn't quite there in the first set, and even the first map, not super influential for his team, but absolutely insane plays, keeping this game still alive here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the logs. He even got credited with an air shot there. I think that might have been the last reflect kill right at the end of the game. But it's interesting logs, actually. We've been talking about Rez and we've been talking about Menti. They're actually towards the bottom of the scoreboard. Rez with only 10 kills and Menti only with 11. He does get 460 DPM, but another player who got over 400 DPM was, in fact, Olga, the heavy. Wow. He goes 25 for 12. He top frags. Then we see the likes of Dreamy, Mezzo, and Zamperoni for Germany, but it is France winning, and Olga, Karnax, and Duo are their top killers for that round. And I just felt that there was a lot more Olga Ubers there, and I think France were going into Germany and sort of just doing a lot of damage, taking a lot of space, and then there was just this Ubered heavy behind, and they just didn't really deal with him a lot of the time. He only died 12 times. CeeJaey, throughout that entire game, dies once.
Yeah, that's pretty insane right there. I mean, I think that tells you a lot of kind of the transitions that they made, just kind of like the gameplay switches that they made, keeping their medic alive, extremely crucial.
Yeah, and it does look like France say they want to attack first for this final Golden Cap round. So this, of course, was France's choice. I mean, this has been extremely close. But then again, so was Gullywash. First map went 2-1 in the favor of Germany. France did get a cap within the last minute, but Germany taking home the win in the regulation time. This second map, 1-1 at the moment. So the winner of this will win the map. Winner of this next round wins the map of Upward. If it's Germany, they'll be going through to the semi-finals to play Russia. And if it's France, we will be going to a third map, which is Product. And I'm going to have to call out for a prediction here next time based on what we've seen so far. I mean, it was too close to call at the start of the game. Is it still too close to call who's going to win this third round?
Yeah, but, we can still make a prediction. And I think that Germany has a good upper hand here, just in the sense that those first 2 sets were so close. And I sort of felt like it was, France making the more adjustments, between the maps, as well as in between the first set and the second set, as they are kind of rolling their momentum back on this map. Depending on how much of a believer you are in momentum. Certainly seems like the tide is shifting to France, but I'm still worried about Kalis going down a little bit too easily, and I think that Germany can put it together and kind of win this set with some authority.
Definitely. I mean, I do think, like, I'm going to reiterate what I said in the first map. I think Germany at the moment, when they're pushing in, it seems almost natural that what they're doing is, I don't know, what they're intending to do, whereas France are fighting very, very hard, and they require these big plays from the likes of Psycho, from Neo, from Duo, to get things done. And I feel if you're banking on players going huge, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult task compared to a team that's just based around total organization. But I mean, it could go either way. We'll have to see what happens. I do think France are just amending their strats. I mean, Olga stepping up huge in that game there. Maybe they're just going to try and play around him a bit more and base that. It does look like the teams are readying up now, eXtine. So we'll be finding out who is going to take this map.
Yeah, France on the offense here for this third deciding set for Awkward. It is match point for Germany. Although we've already seen match point, they weren't quite able to close it out with France tying this map up 1-1. And our final set here, going to get underway. I like France, I like the confidence. Them saying we want offense first.
Yeah, it's a repeat of the previous round, the round that actually won, which maybe they think will play into it. Maybe they just want to disrupt the flow, because Germany have just attacked. Maybe they want to disrupt them and make them defend now. I don't know, because both rounds have been equally fast, so I don't think either side's going to be super into attacking or defending first. I think it really won't come into play here. But yeah, I mean, France saying we want to attack first. They want to set a time, and I feel they're going to have to set a decent time if they're going to want to take this, because if it's a long time, then they start to worry.
Yeah, sub 8, then it seems like France would win it. More than 8, it seems like they probably lose it. But, it's why we play the game. We've got to see how this bomb in goes. Duo coming in, as well as T-Borden causing us some distraction. All three of those players go down, however, and the sentry gun just barely scraps.
Yeah, there was a sticky trap, rather, on the left-hand side. Maybe Menti was expecting that skip jump coming in from Duo, but he went for a different jump this time, keeping them guessing. But Denkra on a couple of kill streak right now, just up on the, he's on the low ground right now, just rotating around, keeping the enemy team guessing, as Duo comes in again, very high in the air, bit of a bait as Kalis comes in from behind, using the parachute again, but isn't going to get anything done. Actually gets shot out of mid-air with a headshot by Denkra. And these suicides not really bringing much value right now, and France are going to start thinking maybe they need to bring their med out and just go for an exchange.
Yeah, indeed, that looks like that might be what's happening here as they send their group of players charging on the left-hand side here. Psycho the Spy is working behind, but he's got some good distance between them. We'll see if he can get out to capitalize on the distraction that will be coming up. Duo did get sniped down. There goes Asu X as well, so they've lost a few players, but they will be coming in with the Uber charge here. The exchange has been called out. They also lose T-Borden. Kylis thrown up onto playground, so he's kind of been put in a weird spot. But it does look like Matt J able to kind of back up afterwards. This push not really working out, but they're still staying in this. They still have their medic up. Kind of starting to chip away at the defense here. Sentry gun actually pretty low health. Might go down here.
They took down Saga. Saga got backstabbed, and whoa, nice reflect from Rez down to Duo. But they took down Menti and they took down Saga, so no NG. Sentry was able to be spammed very easily, and no demo, just no area denial whatsoever. And Magi actually has a bit of an advantage here, so France, if they keep this momentum up, could maybe take this second point rather quickly.
Yeah, that's about standard for that first push. You kind of have two pushes that don't really seem like they do much, kind of a third push that you're like, alright, that was progress, and then all of a sudden you just kind of round the corner and make it all the way through. They lose their heavy weapons guy, which is sort of unfortunate, but they are still able to hold up top. Miu getting thrown back, and somehow Kalis surviving. Was on very low health, and he looked like he was going to crater, but then I think he hit some architecture, able to slowly get nestled down to ground. Look how far that cart got as well, all the way out to entrance in this upper hill hold from Denmark, or Deutschland might kind of turn against themselves. They have gotten some very nice frags here.
Yeah, Mezzo again in the backstab onto CeeJaey. That was a +2. And it was looking good for France. Like you said, so much free cap time because the sentry was in a really passive position next to spawn. And, Denkra got taken down. He was on a 7-kill streak. So it's all looking really good for France. They're getting ready to push. And then Mezzo comes in and kills a bunch of people, including the medic. So that's kind of like, that's what you think. That's the thing. Even when France are playing really well, sometimes someone can come in with a huge play. And Germany looking a lot more comfortable now.
Wow,
France losing some players. And this is where things start to look worrying for France. If they don't push the point in the next couple of minutes, then you start to think, oh, the time that they're setting is looking slower and slower.
Yeah, the tactics are pretty straightforward on this point, so it almost just comes down to frags and how well you can keep an eye on these pick classes. They do get a saw on Mezzo. That doesn't give them an uber advantage, but it will accelerate this push process a bit. They're going to walk through tunnel to get to the side entrance and come out onto the hill from there. We'll be popping the Uber fairly straight away, and the counter Uber from Germany. Players getting split up a little bit here, as Menti will end up on the side, backing up, but the defense has held here. Karnax trying to sneak this cart forward. Sentry gun right at the entrance will get taken out. The fight continues here. Germany staying strong. Tomato under pressure from the scout does get picked off here. Germany's going to have some problems here. But Kalis is down, Olga is down, and CeeJaey all the way back the other end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, they now have the heals. Tomato's still down for another 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So Germany have no buffs. They have no heals. France can maybe take this a little bit slow and just chip their way forward. Denkra's gone down as well, which is a lot of insta-kill potential, as is Mezzo. Those are the two players who could have made a difference there. They've been focused. They've been taken down. Big jump in from Miju. It's not going to get anything done. So France are going to get this cap nearly for free. There is a sentry. If they hold on to this Uber for third, they could start maybe getting some momentum here, eXtine. They could start snowballing this, and this could turn into a better time than they could previously thought. 450 isn't the worst in the world, but we were seeing around 5 minutes for the third point.
Yeah, they could use a little bit of luck coming their way. Psycho does get the backstab on Menti. Uber charge comes out here as well. It looks like they won't be able to find Domato, who's able to back up quite a ways. Mezzo does get the kill on Olga, though, so once again, France have lost a few key players here. No sniper, no heavy weapons guy. They don't really control the corner here. And Mezzo with a big stab on Matt.
Yeah, CeeJaey down, Domato living 90% in the bank. And it's going to be... I mean, France have the ground here, eXtine. They're still pressuring forward. They're not allowing Germany to try to, block this cart. Menti's trying his best, but, they've managed to get it up that first slope just about. And they're getting this cap time, so, they've actually lost Uber as well.
Yeah, sort of awkward. Just was bumping into the spy. Seemed so freaked out by that. They popped the Uber charge. But nobody pressuring the cart, though. So they have managed to stop that. So that does turn it into a pretty successful play for Germany. Menti also up top, getting some stickies right around the corner here. We'll be able to get an easy kill on Duo with that trap.
It's not looking brilliant for France right now, but it's not looking the worst as the conch does come out from Germany, trying to get aggressive here. CeeJaey has an advantage, so, if they get something done here, they take some space on the slope and walk forward, who knows? I mean, they're trying to, I don't know, no one's really pressuring the cart right now. There's no pressure anywhere, so France need to come in with this Uber and really, really make it work, and they're trying to go in for slope now.
Yeah, they're coming up with the Uber charge right away. Kalis does get pushed backwards, which sort of breaks up this push. Psycho will be decloaking, trying to get a sap on the sentry gun. Does get it down, but there's no spam at the same time in order to help take that gun out. Mezzo looking around the cart, will he be able to disrupt this capture attempt? No, he gets gunned down by Karnax. It looks like this cart will be shoved up the end of this roller coaster, and the third point will be captured. 7 minutes so far. So a minute and a half to capture if they want to keep the pace that we've seen so far on this map.
Yeah, I mean, they have an Uber advantage. If they push it out with this this final charge, then hey, there'll be a pretty samey time to what we've seen so far. But of course, this last point is a bit of a struggle because it is difficult to take down as Menti kills Kalis. The Uber's going to come in without a demo. They've lost 3 players now, not looking good. And Germany just going to regroup now, and the cart stays in choke.
Yeah, that sort of seems kind of typical of France. If they lose this game, you have to point to that issue of Kalis going down right before the Uber charge gets popped. And again, they were kind of just hesitating on moving up those stairs. It seemed like they were correct in saying, okay, well, we know we have an Uber charge advantage. Let's get out there. Let's get aggressive. But if you drop your demo man, and then also you like basically just don't 100% commit to sending the pyro up there Uber charge, you're not going to get the results that they want. And now we have the Uber charge from Germany. Rez gets 2 kills, one on Kalis and the other on Olga. So France has gotten shoved backwards a fair amount. They will have a large Uber advantage that they can use here shortly. But Cart hasn't really gotten pressured in too far, and they would like to get this cap shortly.
Yeah, I mean, again, Uber advantage. CeeJaey has been doing a good job in staying alive when the Uber comes in from D'Amato. So, you know, again, they have this Uber. If they don't drop anyone this time, it could be better. Kalis does come in. Dreamy goes down. Denkra has gone down. D'Amato and Menti are trying to go from behind again, but loads of players are dying. Psycho's taking down Saga, and the sentry's been sapped. So that means free cap time on the car. If you get on it now, it's free real estate, people. Get on there. There's 2 players left for Germany. I think they're both going to die here. Yes, it's a white eXtine. That's the definition of a clinical push right there.
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of got the frags around the area that they needed. We're able to pressure through upstairs, and we see 9 minutes, and okay, 8:59. So I did leave a little gray area in my prediction. I said that if the cap was slower than 9 minutes, then France would lose for sure. If it was 8 minutes or faster, then they would win. We have 8:59. Slower than we've seen today in what has been an extremely tight first 2 sets. I think Germany going to be pretty happy with that, though.
I mean, it's still around the same sort of time we've been seeing. I think France, though, are going to be in a bit of a more buoyant mood. I feel like if we were to take a look at the stats right now, CeeJaey's been staying alive again, and you know, he did drop, I think, once or twice, but it seems when France have these advantages, they are catching out D'Amato, they are making these Ubers worthwhile. But still, I think 9 minutes is a lot of time to play with. If France play like, Germany play like they've been doing in the previous 2 rounds, I do think they're going to be the ones that are going to be taking it this round. But hey, I mean, I wouldn't bank against it being 30 seconds to go, eXtine, and FSB is screaming about them jumping on the cart right at the end of the point.
Yeah, we'll see here. I think France is going to need a solid defense at the second point. You know, hasn't really kind of completely materialized, as well as, you know, buy themselves even more time on the third point. We'll see how it goes, though. Kalis starting off the defense by getting sniped down. Not really what you want to see on your demo man. They do stop Menti from causing any damage. Soldier Miju also gets completely gunned down. So Kalis will be able to get out here shortly.
Olga's on the Brass Beast, which I don't know who kind of made this strat, but I've seen it sort of before, where basically you just sit on the stairs and just shoot the Brass Beast constantly. It's like an anti-aircraft gun, and it kind of works. It just does mean if they back out here, it's not going to be too great as it takes down Miju. And these German sacks aren't really working. We're not seeing the parachute attempt this time around. Azix actually destroys the sapper from Mezzo, but doesn't manage to stop his teleporter going down. But Germany gonna probably thinking about coming out here with their medic and trying to get something down, because France just kind of chilling right now.
Yeah, Denkra gets sniped down, so that also kind of tightens things up for Germany. They're out here with the Ubercharge, flashing on the soldier first, then get it on the demo man. Not really the most effective, though, or well executed. The counter Uber, T-Borden and the company do get pretty far forward, try to get a little extra damage here. The defense is holding so far. They've lost their pyro here. Starting to get a good amount of pressure, though, around the cart. Kalis has gotten taken down. Some sort of reflection getting the credit for it. Karnik's trying to snipe as well. But just Germany getting the frags and holding their territory. They've actually gotten a lot of frags here. Only 3 players up for France. I talked about that second hold, and might be really tough here without much presence on the hill.
Yeah, they get about 2 minutes on that first point. Doyo's actually hiding in the tunnel. Probably going to try and maybe block the cart a little bit, or just annoy people from behind to get taken down by Miju, though. France, They kept their medic alive, but they are behind in the Uber stakes. I'm not sure if they're aware of that. Olga's gone down as well. I don't think they're going to be able to hold to second here. It's going to be very difficult unless someone like Neo gets a snipe. Menti's going to be used on. The Uber comes in. Only 90% for CeeJaey. Nice reflect, though, from T-Borden.
Yeah, T-Borden somehow finds that little slit in the armor of the Ubercharge invincibility. Nice rocket from Miju to get a frag on Karnex. The Ubercharge did come out here to try to get the capture blocked. They cannot do so as in Kalis trying to jump around, kind of gets blocked. He's very disconnected. CeeJaey all the way back up at corner. Will run into Kalis, but they are very banged up. If Kalis takes this fight, he could go down easily here. But it looks like they will get the kill on Menti. Have to watch out for the sniper, but they are safe, building their defense to a third point now.
Yeah, the cart has a long way to go, actually. When you take a look where it is, it's just crossed the bridge. So even at ×3, it's going to take a while. Mezzo did manage to get behind in all of that chaos, but doesn't get a pick. So right now, it's all about Germany seeing what they can do. The cart is being pushed uncontested, and Dwo just needs to turn around and maybe get some spam down on there, or maybe Kalis. No one's focusing the cart. No one's dealing with the ×3. It's up the first slope already. Saga's going to walk in through shithouse and maybe get some pressure down. Do they not know the objective is moving right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to get stuck in this mindset of like, okay, well, we're holding our spot on this third point. Well, actually, they just threw Menti all the way off that point. He got a crazy reflect, and there goes another player thrown off the edge. I think that was the scout. So actually, this defense doing really well all of a sudden. But indeed, I mean, you have to defend the cart. You can't just be content holding the corner and letting that cart get so far up that roller coaster. Because if that last little push can go real quick, but if it's still down lower on the ground and they can clear off the corner, you have an opportunity to push back out and shove them away. 5 minutes left on the clock, and Germany are going to have to get back forward to control this corner and get some pressure on the cart. They're at a significant Uber disadvantage right now.
Yeah, Tomato went down to Psycho as France were just pushing forward through the house. But again, just look, they're trying to get forward. They've taken down Kalis. They're just taking this, they're just bullying their way through. And Miju's going to go for a jump, gets denied. But Zamperoni is also in that side house. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of it. Mezzo gets caught out. But Neo with a couple of snipes. He's on a 3K right now. Just trying to stop that cart. Saga's got it up another one of the slopes. Can he get it up the final slope? He's very weak. Psycho's on the car. He's going to stop it. He's going to roll back. And Germany still are not 100% Uber eXtine. CeeJaey's been at 100% for a while now, but Tomato approaching 80%.
Yeah, and France not really controlling that side house all that often. Right now it's clear. It seems like that's been the avenue for Germany to get players in, start creating that side pressure. Right now they're just going to try to Uber up the gut. Reflex coming out here, not really sending players over the cliff or too far away. The Wrangle will send the corpse of Miju out. And CeeJaey able to kind of back up here. If they can't control the corner here, they might just kind of back up here. Sniper trying to get on the cart will get backstabbed. So while Germany have taken the corner here, no players pushing the cart. Dreamy now getting on it. The spy tries to find him to get the kill. Dreamy, actually stays on the roller coaster though. Thought he maybe fallen off, which would have been disastrous.
Karnak's doing a lot of work and just finishing up with a kill on the medic, and that car is still not able to get up that slope. It's that final slope. Saga is trying, Dreamy is trying, but Neo is just watching and just defending. Menti goes down to Kalis, approaching the 3-minute mark now, and again we're in a situation where, you know, there's an Uber advantage for France.
Amazing Stickies to get the kill on Zamperoni. He was trying to eat a sandwich underneath. And I think the Stickies might have been slid in from Kalis in between the stairs and the deck, which is a very tight angle. Scout trying to get on the point. There are Stickies around him. Psycho going to decloak in just a second here to try to get a stab on the Scout or the Engineer. Is spotted. Capture hasn't happened quite yet as France getting out there to get the block on it. Those players killed. Sentry, mini Sentry taken off on roller coaster as well. The point very close. Dreamy trying to get out here to finish this capture. Other players out here as well. Capture still hasn't gone out yet as Dwo fighting on top of the point here. And Denkra taken out by Neo. Long range snipe. Menti on the point. Duo jumps up. Damage onto Menti. If you can get the frag, there you go. Gives up the cap, but it seemed like that was inevitable. Big frag on Menti though. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock here for this final push for Germany.
Yeah, I mean, Dwo doing so much, bought at least, 30 seconds there, just denying the car for such a long time. Medics were exchanged, but CeeJaey died slightly later, and with the worst respawn, is about 20-30% behind here. So Germany are going to be able to just get some pressure on through main. The sentry is only a level 1. It's not looking good. France have to be careful they don't get caught out by a big Uber coming in through main here.
Yeah, and they tried to push without the Uber charge, but Olga got the better of that heavy weapons exchange, got the frag. Mezzo will sneak by as Spy, trying to lurk back in. That's a distraction for CeeJaey. Doesn't see the Uber charge coming up from the other direction. He has gone down. This is a successful Uber, and they also have pressure on the cart. The sentry gun is still up. Players trying to push Germany away from the cart, but there's so many players, and I don't know who can come in for France here. It is Duo. He's very low, though. Rez on the cart. Mezzo there as well. They are pushing. They have heals. Neo trying to snipe across, but they can't do it. Germany wins the match. And France, their defense crumbles, not able to do it. On the end there, they don't get the Uber charge. Great push up there at the end there by Domato and company, taking stairs, and they take the map that comes down to the wire.
So close to reaching it to Product Day. You just feel that if France were playing on a passive hold there, knowing that they had that bit of a disadvantage, then they would have been able to defend the car and maybe just push back with the Uber. But, you know, they spent so much of time in this game with an Uber advantage, or at least equal Ubers. They didn't count on the time where they had a disadvantage, and Germany took full advantage of that, walking forward, just destroying everybody on the high ground and getting some time on the cart. And that's going to be it. And again, one of our top seeds is knocked out. France were a group winner, of course, but one of the highest seeded teams, so they got to bye through the last 16 stage, the second round. And of the teams that got a bye in that round, in the quarterfinals, only Russia won their quarterfinal. England, Denmark, and now France have all been knocked out. So we're having something of an unfamiliar semi-final.